Lope Joel Ssenyonyi abiganye mu Palamenti wabaddewo ekiteeso ekize ekyokubairinga tubaawo ekyokuwa amakampuni ensimbi gali mu mbeera embi. Abiganye n'agamba amakampuni ge twakawa ssente nga tugajja mu mbeera embi tewali kye gaali galaze kikulaakulanya ggwanga Uganda, tewali kye gaali galaze kiyamba munnayuganda, tewali kye gaali galaze nga kiyamba ensi yattu. Okuggyako ensimbi ziwulabubuzaawo temanya waje ziraze ne bagamba loko bagiwadde ssente gundi bamuwadde ssente naye nga temumanyi nsimbi ki kye zikola nti n'olwekyo tewali kuddamu kugaba nsimbi za muwi wa musolo. Mukwata ensimbi mu kittavu ne muziwa kampuni ze mutamanyi mbeera gye zirimu ne zoonoona ssente z'omuwi w'omusolo ne mudda ku muwi w'omusolo ne mukanika ne munyigiriza ne mumuggyako omusolo omuyitirivu kyokka ng'ate simpi mwagabangabe. Kati n'agaanye akubye emmeeza n'atodde kuddamu kugaba nsimbi za muwi wa musolo bwe tutyo oba kampuni za Museveni zigwa zigwe ba investor bajjanga okuinvesting nga tebalina ssente wa kampuni zaabwe zigwa zigwe wasite zaabwe zituukidde okugwa tebalina discipline ya ssente. Kale katufune embeera ebiri mu Palamenti mukulu Joel Ssenyonyi Bisekezi nga ayogera ebigambo.
Lope. There is a procedure from Lope. Hey.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Two things, maybe three. One, government needs to learn to do business the right way. You know, generally government is not very good at doing business, but you have got to learn now that you're dealing with taxpayers' money. Honorable Speaker, you've given a very good classical example of ROCO, 202 billion shillings. And up to date, we don't know what exactly that money did because the Parliament building is not moving. I inspected it together with the Deputy Speaker a couple of weeks ago, and we were bothered about what we saw. Returning to this issue, right, Honorable Speaker, the documents that you have read, the commitment, I don't know if the committee did interrogate these because they have not attached them as part of the committee report. Because the information from a shadow.
Honorable members, just you leave the law to. I'm going to make the final ruling.
The shadow finance minister, who I do rely on a great deal, as of this morning was telling me all of these issues have not been furnished to the committee. But you see, Right Honorable Speaker, the question of equity, you see, equity is both quantity and quality. Now, quantity, number of shares, quality is the extent of the value, all of which has not been interrogated. Right Honorable Speaker, the letter that you're reading from the Attorney General is saying there must be valuation. And I agree with the Attorney General. But what do we do first? Because we cannot inject money first and then say go and value. In that case, how much stake do we have? Because we have not interrogated the extent of the equity. Why do we want to put the cart before the horse? We should have done this first. And that's what I'm saying is the right way of doing business. As a private investor, before you invest in anything, you want to first examine the extent of value of this company. The finance minister is disturbing the speaker. Honorable Speaker, as I was because I also needed the finance minister to pay attention to this critical issue because this is our money collectively. This is taxpayer money that we're talking about. It is wrong. It is problematic. It is bad business manners. For it, we want to invest money into a company whose value you do not know yet. I don't know why, as the Attorney General did advise you, because the Attorney General generally advises government. The Attorney General's advice is not binding on Parliament. Why do you want us to pass money for a company whose valuation you have not done? Because what happens if you do that valuation tomorrow and you realize, as you have said, Honorable Minister, that this company is sick, and you want us to inject 578 billion shillings into a sick company? Why? What exactly is the issue? Whose value we do not know exactly? Honorable Minister, you think about these things critically, like the ordinary taxpayer, who would be extremely bothered.
Okay.
Right, Honourable Speaker, as I wrap up in a minute. Right, Honourable Speaker, I'm trying to get the attention of the Minister. Honourable Minister, you need to help your government, because your government sends you here to Parliament to get approval for money such as this. Now, I don't know if it is your government that is not very organized, or yourself as minister.
Our government is formed of the people.
I have actually been very deliberate with my words, Right Honourable Speaker, because Honourable Musa Asizi represents government. They sit in cabinet and determine we need to get this money to bail out this company. How? By acquiring equity. Once you're given those instructions, you do your homework. The Attorney General tells you, you do valuation. You have not done valuation because you've not tabled it. What's the value of this company? How much equity are we getting when we inject this kind of money? And that's the issue that we have. And for me, Right Honourable Speaker, this should not even be a partisan issue. Government, opposition. No, it's all of us. Because the people who are watching out there, on whose behalf we are deliberating, this is their money. So they're going to be asking us, you people have injected 578 billion shillings of our money into a company. What is the value addition to the taxpayer? We are not answering that question. And we must be able to answer that question, Honourable Minister, for all of us. And I want to implore colleagues even in the NRM, because your voters are going to be asking you, saying this money, if it had built a road, we would see the road. If that money had been injected in your health centers, they would see that value immediately. But here you are telling us to inject 578 billion in a sick company. It is wrong, Minister.
What is the value addition of quality chemical to Ugandans? We have supported it.
And Right Honourable Speaker, like you can give many other examples of entities we have injected money in, and we are saying our fingers have gotten burned. You just gave us the example of Rocco, our building as Parliament. It has not happened yet. Honourable Minister, I want to dissuade you. Please back down on this issue. It is problematic. Because tomorrow you'll come back here and we shall be asking you, we injected this amount of money. What has been the return? Because there must be a return and you won't have an answer.
Chair.
Madam Speaker and colleagues, the questions that the leader of opposition is raising are valid questions that were brought by the members of the Committee of Budget raised these matters. Question of valuation and what is the government's stake in equity. And we wanted even to see what is in place to enable that the government acquires the right stake. And obviously, for those who know this valuation, when you want to buy into a company, you must ascertain the value of the company and its leverage before you pull out 1 shilling. And also wanted to know what is the saving in terms of import substitution. We wanted to know in terms of, also in terms of tax contribution, how much would it be unemployment? We want all these questions. But then at the end of the day, we said, yes, this is very important, but we wanted to see the process. Yes, Madam Speaker and colleagues, this is an ongoing process. We found out that there was valuation already ongoing, and we wanted to see what were the documentation to show that it was presented to us. We had a commitment from the Attorney General to see that is ongoing. We had a letter from the Minister of Science and Technology and said that is ongoing. We have an MOU, even went and asked what is the MOU between the government of Uganda and the company by Pharma. It was given to us. And incidentally, although we thought the 575 billion was actually a grant, according to the Attorney General, that was not a grant. And it's going to constitute part of the equity that we are going to acquire from this company. So the process is ongoing. And then the committee, it's not a grant. According to the letter from the Attorney General that we got this morning, commitments we got this morning.
Honorable members.
The attachments are
Honorable members. Can I hear from Attorney General? Now that
Let me just conclude, okay. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, When we received the documents and personal commitments from the Attorney General, from the Minister of Science, and again, representing these matters to us, the Committee of Budget this morning, we are confident that this cannot all be liars. And we saw the due process that's been going on. And that's the reason why we have recommended that money be approved subject to the evaluation that's being done. And that will actually a certain our level of participation, even our equity in this. And we recommended not only for this, but for others.
Attorney General,
Madam Chair, just I want
Attorney General.
I want the chairman to help me. Now, the 570 billion is from Equity Bank. And the Equity Bank must have valued those assets before they gave you the what? Money. Did you look at the evaluation report of Equity Bank, which led for them to give that money to that today and Magora? Did you look at that? And the two, as a committee, you are recommending us to do. What safeguards do we have in place? Supposing we pick this money tomorrow and give them, where do we hold on? Supposing we give them and they get away because we have paid them even extra, they say for us we have left the country. What do we hold on? Because the committee should put us guarantee. Where do we hold on as soon as we give them the what? The money.
AG.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am glad that the chair of the committee who read the report did lay on table the memorandum of understanding by which government intends to buy equity in Day Farmer. Last week when we were doing RAPEX here, remember Honorable Boalu and the Honorable Okoto Gong complaining about how much or how little the money government gives to local investors. Right Honorable Speaker, we entered an MOU on behalf of government to acquire equity in Day Farmer. Like the Minister of Finance has said, Day Farmer needs to be saved. But in addition to being saved, Day Farmer, if it is saved, it is likely to be one of the biggest pharmaceuticals in East and Central Africa. We import a lot of medication, just like Dr. Omona said, and yet Day Farmer can produce those medications here and save us the money.
Let him finish. Why does it? Why doesn't he finish? Okay, let me guide the house this way. One, government of Uganda, much as we've received a letter of a commitment on valuation, the government must do evaluation, and the chairperson of budget and deputy must ensure that they continuously see that this valuation is being done for and on behalf of this parliament and report it. Two, we need a full valuation report, both from where you're paying the money, like what Honorable Nandala said, the bank, and the valuation of the assets that are in existence in the area. Three, no disbursement of these monies before the valuation is done. 4, listen to me. I know you have a date with the government, but listen to me. 4, upon the valuation and this money is paid, the security, those are the land titles and whichever, must be kept with the treasury. It should not be kept with the owner. I now put a question that the motion that the House resolves itself into the Committee of Supply to consider the
Motion, Right
supplemental-
Honorable Speaker.
I have given the orders, and those orders are for the benefit of this country. Ibrahim, sit. Hajat, that is not you. You sit, you'll bring your issues. We are not going to disburse the money.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
No, I've not given you time to speak.
But if we don't disburse the money, what's the urgency in approving this money?
On Eddie, you'll need to come back. We are approving this. We are approving this report, and we will wait for the valuation. Not we, the ministry will wait for the valuation. It is just out of courtesy that you listen to me. It is out of courtesy. Just as like I do respect you, it's the same way I expect any other person to respect the other. I have given my ruling, and I will not withdraw the ruling. If you, honorable members, if you have issues with the process, proceed.
Obey the chair. Obey the speaker.
That's what I've done. That's what I've done. They will not. They will not. They will not. Because okay. There's a motion. Let's just get some little clarification from clerk.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. What I hear you say is to try and find a middle ground so that this 578 billion shillings, which is plenty of money, does not go, and then after it has gone, we realize we have lost it. So you're guiding, Right Honorable Speaker, that the money either stays held on to somewhere, do the valuation first, and that kind of thing on an escrow account of sorts. I'm worried. I don't know how we get to trust these people, because many times Parliament has resolved on issues and government has reneged, has not followed through on resolutions that we have passed. So I'm trying to see, how do we make sure they don't abuse the trust we are trying to give them, because they have abused that trust before.
Honorable, the money will be in the, you know why I've given 3 weeks? The money is in the consolidated account. Yes. Now, this, why I've given them 3 weeks, by the 3 weeks, that account will have swept back. Not 3, about 4. It will have swept back. So the money will have gone back. That's why
Awo ejoero Ssenyonyi bisekezi ensonga abagitemeddemu abagiremeddemu tewali kugaba bugabiwe batyo nsimbi za wa musolo abantu batwale ntwale bagabane engabane eyo balyendye ate ng'omuwa omusolo yabonaabona bamujjako ensimbi nnyingi omusolo mungi kyokka ne bazigabira bugabizi bantu bwe batyo ne zoonoonebwa ne ziriibwa ate ne bawongera okunyigiriza omuwi w'omusolo Munnayuganda. So tewali kugaba bugabi ssente basooke baleete embalirira entuufu zigenda kukola biki era zigenda kukola eggwanga lizifunamu ki n'omusuubuzi afunirawa omuwi w'omusolo balyoke balaba ate ekiddako. Kale mbaagala nnyo mwenna mwali kubaako Donda Lugaba Namugereka gwe nsaba bankuumire tujja kuba tuddamu batayi mweraba.